Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Perseverance Mindset Podcast. I am your host, John Zedzera, coming to you live from the Dialogue Den here at the Perseverance Mindset. Welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is Are the Foods We Eat Harming Our Health? And in today's episode, we're diving into something that's affecting all of us, from the snacks we eat to the meals we munch on to what we rely on, some of the most common snacks, types of foods out there, foods that we eat every day that secretly might be killing. And that's right. Chemicals, additives, preservatives, hidden items in your everyday foods. Guys, everyday foods, you're not even thinking about it, and you're coming across this. Again, these might be doing more harm to you than we realize every day. Going getting that candy bar, going getting that soda, these things add up. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, everything in moderation. I was raised by that phrase. But again, is that still true when all of these chemicals and all these additives are in our everyday foods? Consuming something once a week might double up to be up to 3 to 4 times a week of its effects. But is it still true? You know, with all the packaged foods we have, with so many harmful chemicals, today we'll be talking about the shocking truth behind these foods that might be poisoning us or setting us in positions for long-term health consequences. You know, the truth behind these foods that we love, Campbell's soups, cereals, fruits and vegetables, all that pizza, all that processed food. Gotta take a look at this stuff, guys. And we're doing that today right here on the Perseverance Mindset. So in this, we'll explore 5 of the most dangerous chemicals you should watch out for and what you can do to protect yourself from their health effects, consequences, all of that stuff. We're here to educate and to also encourage dialogue here at the Dialogue Den for things of this nature and other interesting topics as well. So let's take a quick look at how eating habits have changed over the years. Let's start with that. Now, as we can say, the greatest generation, or back in the 1950s, 1960s, dining out was far less common than it is today. It's just a reality. That is the reality. It was less common. Again, today, it's just the complete and polar opposite. People in those days generally cooked meals at home. The idea of fast food was basically frowned upon, and it was still relatively new, with giants and conglomerates like McDonald's, Burger King, again, and then leading up to KFC, and so many other of these fast food chains. But now, as the decades went on, our eating habits changed, and we began to change as well. You know, with the rise of fast food, all these chains we're mentioning, you know, and it took a dramatic effect on, again, the American diet, the American culture. And now it's more about convenience of eating out, the convenience of saving time, and again, saving money. But with the high inflationary environment today, nothing's saving money on food, guys. It's just a fact. But again, now in today's world, we're relying on quick and easy meals instead of home-cooked meals. You know, leading up to by the 90s, dining out became the norm. It was socially popular, socially acceptable. Fast food consumption exploded. It exploded. Again, became hip, became culturally acceptable. The introduction of, you know, another groundbreaking part in American culture, the introduction of the 2-parent working household also played a role in this big shift with both parents working, either having one kid or multiple kids at home. Again, giving your kid money, grabbing that fast food, that quick hamburger, that quick cheeseburger, those quick chicken nuggets, that milkshake, you know, became more socially integrated into the American diet. And I wish I could say it was a good thing, but it's not leading us on that path. And many other countries are following suit with this. Again, countries that have mostly focused on soups and natural herbs and food are also starting to get fast food, and it's not working out well. Again, now this led to the rise of convenience food. You know, something we've come to depend upon, you know, and I can say this for sure. I know me and my wife, we eat out maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, but some people eat this food and have fast food every single day. But here's the thing. Our eating habits have drastically changed since then, since times we're discussing. So has our health. About 37 of American adults consume fast food, you know, on a daily basis. It's just such a different direction. And this has become the norm moving forward. Again, according to the CDC, it's basically like some adults are eating fast food every single day. But if you want to break it down by the numbers, basically that's about 1 in 3 adults are eating fast food every single day. It's not good. It's not positive. It's not something to clap about. It's not something to be taken in a good light. And let me tell you, the health consequences are real, so real that there's been documentaries on many social media, news outlets, documentaries on this. The famous one, Supersize Me. People eat fast food every single day, and just day by day, people feel their health worsening. That's how bad it is. Now we want to get into more of some of the risks in eating unhealthy, you know. And now that we've all heard that eating in moderation sometimes is acceptable, is fine. But we're on this episode, we're going to test that theory. Now, in today's world, is that still a plausible statement? Everything in moderation, but it just might not cut it anymore. Again, moderation, having things once a week, again, but with the chemicals and the additives in it, that once a week might be all it needs to basically shock your body in the wrong direction. Fast foods, processed foods come with a host of chemicals and additives that can just damage and cripple us. Maybe not in the short term, but the long term. You just have to look at the ingredients and what's actually in these packaged foods, all the additives that are sprayed and added on to it, or the coloring dyes in meat, and that can negatively affect our health over time. And the side effects, they're not just about, this just not about gaining a few pounds. We're talking about heart disease, diabetes, digestive issues, even leading up to mental health issues. Again, some people are nervous and bad anxiety. They eat to calm some of their problems. And it's crazy. And this leads to an increased risk also, in many instances, is exploding in the country, increased risk of cancer. And, it's not just those few things that we're mentioning. These are only some of the health consequences that we're discussing in this episode today. Weight gain is, for one instance, is one of the more obvious consequences, but what about heart disease? Going into these more major consequences, again, not in the short term, but in the long term, they're drastically devastating. The unhealthy fats, the sugars in processed food, they raise bad cholesterol levels. It's just, these are the things that people have come to pay more attention to. And I personally am glad about that myself. And those sugary sodas you have, hey, I'm drinking a diet soda, all good? Not all good. Not when you have those diet sodas every single day. Let's just say that. And they're not just a quick source of energy. Some people like to drink them as that. They can lead to insulin resistance and eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. It's just scary stuff, guys. People need to take this more seriously. Everyone I talk to, and I'm not saying I'm the pillar of health, but I've definitely drastically changed my lifestyle from when I was a kid. And then there's digestive problems leading up to low fiber and content. Fast foods can lead to bloating, constipation, and it's just, the list just goes on and on and on. And even like just having problems with, irritable bowel syndrome. Just crazy. The negative consequences and effects that come with what we eat and consume. And the sad truth of it is, many of us don't even think about how these foods affect us right now, not even the long term. It's just the price is right. And we can't always focus on the price when it comes to our health. And basically the truth is that we don't think about it enough. And trust me, I've been there. Growing up in the 90s, I'm a 90s kid. My life was filled with more Pizza Hut, Super Nintendo, and probably more soda, Pepsi, Coca-Cola than probably legally allowed today in some states. I bet. I guarantee it. I put a price tag on it. And probably I've known at the time, you're growing up, you're a kid, you're having a good time. You don't think about that, right? It was the normal lifestyle back then. We didn't really read labels. Like, who read labels? Now, more people read labels than ever before, and that's a good thing. But again, I realized as I got older, I needed to take control of my health. I made a choice to join a local gym near me, work out regularly, met many people at that gym, and just changed my lifestyle. I made that commitment to myself. I was that little overweight, pudgy kid in middle school that basically went into a boxing room, started hitting a heavy bag, started learning more of hypertrophy training, then strength training. And, I changed my life. But I know a lot of people don't think about their choices until it's too late. You can always change your choices. You can always change your direction in life. And what you consume in your diet and health is pivotal to your long-term success. And also, too, I want to mention that this episode is personal to me because I turned things around at a young age and realized, hey, I can't keep having these extra large Pizza Hut, extra cheese pizzas. Can't keep having these sodas. I can't keep having these liters every night. I realized that health and wellness to me are tied directly to the fuel that you put into your body. In addition to not just working out and being physically active daily, it's about actually what you consume, which is honestly almost way more important. It's like a balance in there. It's like a 60-40, but again, it needs to be in tandem. I'd made a commitment to myself and my family that I've done for many years. I work out at least 4 to 5 days a week, make sure to take 2 days off. But again, even one of those days, I'm doing like an active rest. I'm doing bike riding. I'm playing tennis. I'm either hiking somewhere, seeing a new site. But again, I'm making sure I'm eating healthier. And that was the key. And that's when I decided to see way more success and progress in my physical fitness level and just my overall health as well. But the truth is, not everyone makes that connection early on or where you are in your life. And that's sad to see, because it's hard when you're surrounded by foods that are convenient, but they're absolutely horrible for you. They're just so damaging to your health, your physical health, again, leading up to your mental health, like we were discussing. So I want to use this episode to raise awareness of it, just this highly crucial issue. And raising awareness about the chemicals that are lurking in our everyday foods, and just, again, us not realizing it. Even labels that say they're healthier, less sugar, no trans fats, those are all selling words, right? We're all familiar with the marketing term is like, you sell something at $19.99, not $20, $19.99. Again, it ends up being like $21, $22 with tax. So again, it's all marketing. It's a marketing gimmick. And all these everyday foods silently damage your body. They silently do the damage. And then after time, when you realize it, the damage is done. It's already done. It's over. So people have got to change. All right, now I want to go into more of the exact chemicals and additives that basically are in our foods that we need to be just more aware of. And that's what we need to do. We need to be aware of what they are, what the effects are, and how can we do better as people to be aware of them. Now let's get into it. Here are 5 chemicals that you should be aware of that are commonly found in processed and fast foods. So let's kick it off with aspartame. It's an artificial sweetener. You'd find this in sugary drinks, sodas, gum, other diet, quote-unquote, products. And while the FDA says, again, it's safe in moderation, there's that word again, moderation, direct studies have linked it to headaches, dizziness, and also even leading to potential neurotic effects. So it's just from that one sweetener, that artificial sweetener can cause all those issues. Now let's move on to trans fats, partially hydrogenated oils or vegetable oils. These are found in processed snacks. We all know our good processed snacks, baked goods, going into the grocery store, getting either that muffin, that bread, candy. Trans fats are notorious for raising bad cholesterol. There's good cholesterol and there's bad cholesterol, but hydrogenated oils, definitely bad cholesterol. Now, while raising bad cholesterol and lowering good cholesterol, it's actually doing the opposite of what your body needs it to do, which is raise the bad and destroy the good. Also increasing your risk for heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. It's mind-boggling how these additives have such control over our bodies. Let's move on to the next one called sodium nitrate, often found in processed meats like bacon, hot dogs, deli meats. Sodium nitrate, it just harms so much of our bodies. Again, everybody likes to be around with a hot dog and a burger at American barbecue. Really rethink that how often you eat these foods, guys. This can cause, again, when these things are heated, these compounds are linked to an increased rate of cancer and many other things as well. And now I want to say this right, monosodium glutamine, or MSG. I hope I'm saying that right. But this is a flavor enhancer, guys, that is commonly found in fast food and seasoning packets. So all those little seasoning packets that you put on, again, that hot dog, chicken, burger, meat, steak. This is why it's generally considered safe. Again, there's that word again, safe in moderation. People experience headaches and other symptoms. And, there's many of these studies that are continuing. This is just what we know about. And also concerning this additive, there's also concern for long effects on brain health, like just from a seasoning packet. This stuff is ridiculous. We need to be more aware of these chemicals, guys. And then I also want to move on to BPA. BPA is also used in the lining of canned foods. So that can of chicken noodle soup, that canned corn, canned carrots, Thanksgiving later on this year, that cranberry It's a disruptor, meaning it can interfere with hormone functions. The item that stores canned food leads to hormone functions and also could also lead to reproductive problems. Really think about if that can of corn or can of mashed potatoes is worth it. Really think about it when this could lead to reproductive problems and also developmental problems in children and even an increased risk of certain cancers. All these chemicals that we're talking today, BPA, MSG, artificial sweeteners, and all these chemicals are present in foods we consume regularly. So testing the theory, are these safe in moderation? Everything safe in moderation? I don't think it flies anymore, guys. Everything we consume so regular, but there is good news out of this. There are steps you can take to avoid them. And we want to get into those steps right here on the Perseverance Mindset podcast. And I know we're talking about all these additives and everything's dangerous and nothing in moderation. I don't want you to take that away from this video. I want you to be aware of the foods you are consuming and putting into your bodies. And that is why we know this is so important that we had to bring it up on our podcast. So the question is from this episode, what can we do to protect ourselves from these harmful ingredients, right? I'll just say this, education, education, education. We're in an age of information where very little people utilize the information that's all around us. First, try to eat more whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains. Again, cooking at home whenever possible, taking food to work. Avoid having to buy packaged foods, which you're already spending more money and you're already getting a product that's bad for you. Not knowing what's in it, how it's packaged, what's in there, and it's a great way to control what you do eat and what's in your food. If you try to eat out, try to choose some healthier options. Be mindful of portion size. Portion size is something that's killed me for many years. I would eat a lot of the good foods, lean chickens, lean vegetables, but I would way overdo the protein size with the portion size, and they would also harm me in that way. Being mindful of the portion size. And it's also important to read the labels. Look for the artificial sweeteners. Look for aspartame. Look for trans fats. Look for ingredients like MSG and sodium nitrate. The less you consume of these bad chemicals and limit your interactions with them, the more your health is going to flourish. The more healthier you will be. Because when you know what these chemicals are, the more you can protect yourself from them. And on the Perseverance Mindset podcast, we are here to educate our listeners. We are here to engage in dialogue. That's why we're here live at the Dialogue Den. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear your concerns. We want to hear questions. We want requests for you to come out and reach out to us, talk about a topic, whether it's anything we discussed today, and wrapping this up, the foods we eat every day, whether they're fast food, processed food, whether they're snacks, whole foods, foods that contain the artificial sweeteners or not, they may seem seemingly harmless. But again, the ingredients could do more harm than you can ever imagine, more than we realized, and we've got to be more mindful of what we eat and what we consume in our bodies. So that's all I have for you tonight, guys. Hope this episode benefited you, gave you some great insights. Look forward to hearing from everyone. Please subscribe to our podcast, and please like and share the video below. Thank you.